at first I opened up a crystal online store, but then I wanted to do something different, and I actually just changed kind of my motto and wanted to make it a mission to build a bridge between like local artists, because I see there was so many artists and so many talents that like people don't know that they're out there. They're just getting there, or they don't put their stuff out there. It's just, you know, friends that know about them. So I wanted to connect local artists, entrepreneurs, and the community together, you know, to strengthen the community. So I wanted to create a platform where the community can come together with ideas and basically make our dreams come true together by circulating abundance, wealth within the city, and hopefully it spreads. And I mean, as we can see, we have people from Pennsylvania. Last week we had people from Canada. So it's getting there. So actually we're just here to help one another spread unity without judgment, hate, division, or prejudice. That's basically what, you know, I do with the business. So I get sponsors from, you know, businesses. Thank you, Kyle and Crystal from Altered State of Mind. That is our first sponsor that we got last week, right? So without them, you know, it would be harder for us to do this vision that I have. And then we accept donations just because we, you know, give giveaways. Now we're going to be sending stuff if people from out of town win. So things like that, just for the business to keep going.
It's beautiful. And once again, you know, we don't do this for us.
Right.
We do this all for you guys.
Well, basically, yeah. We do it for,
What we do.
we do because it makes us feel good.
Right.
We do it
Make
for
us
you
feel
because,
good.
yeah. So yeah, and then I called Kevin to kind of help me, and
She didn't give me an option.
yeah, I didn't ask, I demanded. So we have speakers, different speakers from different, I mean, they do different things. We have Reiki masters, we have tarot readers, psychics, of course, Kevin is an intuitive medium, crystal ball, you know, healer. So I try to bring different speakers so that you know that there's different ways to either, if you're finding healing, if you're finding motivation, or if you just want to know some basic stuff, where you can go to to find ways, you know. So our speaker today is Miss Kim Malagara. She's from People First Leadership Coaching, and if you want to explain a little bit about what you do, and then we'll go to Kevin after, because then you could do the tarot.
Okay.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Kim Malakara. I've been an educator in Milwaukee since 1992, and I've been in leadership for the last 9 years in a large urban school district in Milwaukee. But through those experiences, I found there was one common theme, whether I was a teacher or a leader, no matter what, but it was putting people first in order to make things happen, to make sure people are happy, to make sure they're achieving their goals, and then to align with the organizational vision. So that is why I started the business, because I saw the impact that it made on putting people first and how important that is.
And it makes sense, because I mean, common sense should put people first, but we just gotta keep also. Shout out to Michael, thank you so much for the candles that you've been donating from
The start.
yeah. He's actually been donating a lot, so we really appreciate you. We're grateful for that. Of course, Crystal and Kyle from Altered State of Mind. They're our sponsor of the business, and we get to come in this beautiful space. As you can see, maybe one day we'll do a tour for the people that are out of town to see how the store looks. It's amazing. And then Baron from Blowco and Kenosha Spiritual Awakening Market. He's been donating some candles and some gifts also. We will be there on Saturday at the Kenosha Spiritual Market, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Or Baron is on, if he can tag it. Heather and Dan, the Reiki masters from Everbloom Healing Arts. That was amazing work last week. Like, I literally felt it. I sent you guys messages. Kirsten from Guided by the Moon Reiki, and she's also on TikTok. I call her the TikTok queen.
Thank you for all your wonderful info.
Yes. Amanda, thank you so much for your donation. That blessed us also. And Kim for coming on. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So now we'll do.
Okay, guys, going into your weekly forecast. Last week the cards were pretty good, right? If I remember right.
Huh?
The cards,
They were pretty good, yeah.
you're kind of like, we're getting through that month.
Yeah,
we're doing
like,
good.
And KJ did say he would love a virtual tour because he's in Pennsylvania. So, awesome, KJ, we'll make that happen.
We'll have Kyle run through the camera.
And I know that's your
Nickname?
nickname, yeah.
It's Kayla, right?
Kayla. It was Kayla.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Put up an angry face.
Right. If
Um,
we're wrong, put up an angry
So if
face,
we
yeah.
can all kind of like just meditate on the moment right now, just to kind of put our energy into the cards and the love, the light, the direction for everything that's going on. Also, once again, if you guys have any questions for me later on in the segment tonight, put those down. Okay, our weekly forecast. We're good.
Kayla. See, we're good. And we do this tarot reading for the
Collective.
collective.
Take what resonates.
Yes.
You know, it may hit you, it may not.
And if it does, throw some hearts. If you don't like the message, throw some angry faces.
Sorry, we're just kind of like peeking at those comments.
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with the comments.
Well, we got the Fool straight up in the middle. It's
Oh.
So it's kind of like a week, just be prepared for the work. It's a week that we need to prepare for things that are going on. If we know that we're ending something and coming into like a new beginning, that it's always going to be slow. That always when we start things, it's going to be slow and we're learning how to work with things. Good thing about a lot of the messages are that, you know, it's like risk taking, taking chances, there's happiness, there's, it's kind of like they say like what, that we should chop wood and carry water, chop wood and carry water. You know, like you gotta keep going, like you gotta keep doing the work even though when things, it's kind of like with people when they take like antidepressants and they're like, we don't need them no more because we're not feeling it. We feel better, we still need them. I mean, that could be with anything, like, you know, it may not be making you feel better, but just keep doing
Or
it.
you think you feel better,
Right.
then you don't need them. But
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we got to keep moving forward. It's also a good time to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in jeopardy. And what I mean by this is maybe like you feel like you need to buy something from Wish.com. Get a dummy credit card, something like that where you're not really putting your money into it. Being smarter, because it looks like there might be a lot of glitches going on. But what I like is we got the Queen of Cups and the Sun, so it's emotional. It's emotional, but for the right reasons, like tears. I keep hearing like tears of happiness. So a lot of what the work we're doing is well achieved. Also, our guidance is the anxiety card, but this is also get some damn sleep card.
Rest.
Yeah, rest, relax, take it easy, don't take on so much weight, and that's why we got the 10 of Wands. Because this is the overworked, underplayed. Play, have fun, do what you gotta do, but don't let it like eat up your emotions. If that made sense, drop some likes, drop some hearts when that message was received. And then we're gonna do a quick card, and then also,
Cello's on.
yay! For this week,
I create the life I dream of.
I create the life I dream of. So it looks like we might gotta do another episode of manifesting.
Manifestation. Yes.
Beautiful. So before we jump into Kim, we're not going to jump into it. We're going to do a quick contest, a quick giveaway.
Oh, yes. Quick giveaway.
Just one quick one.
Go like People Leadership Coaching on Instagram and Facebook. Their website too. If you want to put the website on there, you can go on the website.
You won a little crystal ball,
It's a rose quartz.
a little mushroom,
I forgot what that was.
it's a stone, and a mermaid pendant made by Downriver Indigo.
Yes.
She hand carves these, makes them all by hand.
Yes, she does.
It's very beautiful.
I think from recycling too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the trees.
Right. I don't know what this mushroom is. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay, so Donna won. Now let's get back.
To the juicy stuff.
Yes. To the juicy stuff. So again, this is Kim Malacaro from People First Leadership Coach. And so I asked her to come on because she does work for a big place. But she does do her business on the side. So Kim, tell us a little bit about, how you got to People First Leadership, or what made you want to start your business.
Okay, so I became a leader 9 years ago, and I was the assistant principal, and then became a principal for the last 6 years of a school. And when I started there at the school, they really needed to work on culture climate. We all did. And what I found through doing the work, I was always, as a teacher, about students first. Students were central to whatever I did in the classroom. But now leading adults, it kind of hit me, and I wasn't sure how to handle it in the beginning. But I found that if I was going to have happy students, I needed to definitely have happy adults. And by doing, I had to learn their needs and build them along the way. So that's how I really started focusing in, and there were 4 key strategies we used that really helped us to build our culture and climate and change our data of our student referrals, suspensions, etc. And adults were much happier, and of course then students were much happier, which is awesome.
So what made you, why People First Leadership Coach?
Well, and it was because of just that people focus and just really realizing that people are the most valuable asset that any organization has, no matter what industry you're in, period. It's people. If we have to make sure that our people are feeling valued, so they stay with you in an organization, and that they work with you, not against you. And really truly finding the strengths, that's what really helped me, is being very positive. I've always had a positive outlook in life, but just really seeing people for their beauty and their strengths, because everybody has strengths. It's how do you get to that, then build them to that next step that you need them to go.
Nice.
So,
And with you, because I've seen a lot of leaders, I've worked with a lot of people, you are like one of the most positive people I know. It's crazy. Like, I'm like, how is she not mad right now? How is she so calm, But there's something that you have said that has stood out to me all the time, and you say you lead from the heart.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of leaders, they don't lead from the heart,
Right.
So talk about a little bit your belief in leading, from the heart.
Well, and I think it's easy because I've always had a passion for education because of the children. I always wanted to be in education, and when I was a teacher for years, I just knew it was hard work. It's not easy work. People say, how can you teach? How can you But it was because of the children. I always wanted, and being a leader of a school, same thing. It was students first. So leading from the heart was easy because every decision I would make as a leader was about putting children first. But then, becoming a new leader, I had to learn what does that look like through adults. Because also adults have to be, it's about children first at your decisions, but you have to make sure your adults have their needs met. So,
And because you work in an environment that's you don't know what you're walking into every day.
Stressful.
Yes, it can be stressful. So what is is your morning ritual to stay positive during the day? Because working with people, a lot of people, is hard. But then when you mix it with children and adults, it's even harder, you know. So what do you do to like stay positive, you know, during the day or your, you know, morning ritual? Because I know from seeing people in other industries, you lead different, you know. You lead with spirituality, you lead with heart, you lead with intuition. So what do you do to do that, you know?
Sure. Well, leaders have to start with themselves. I mean, I say people first, I talk about students first, and then those you lead. But you have to start with yourself first, because if you don't center yourself as a leader, and this goes for any leader in any organization or even a parent being a leader, right, in your home, you have to take care of yourself. So I didn't know how to do this at first. The first time around when I first became the leader, it was very stressful, and I suffered health-wise. I had some things that happened, and I could feel the stress, and I carried it. So in the last few years, I have come up with a ritual, just piece by piece, and built it, and I absolutely love it. And I tell people, like, what time do you get up in the morning? I say 3:30, and they're like, what? I could never get up at 3:30. I leave the house at about 6:30, so I do about 3 hours of prep work in the morning in order to be positive and start my day in the right way. But I've learned by trial and error. First, I've learned I meditate my own way. It might not be how you meditate. but I do feel like people have to find what works for them in meditation.
Right.
So I sit in a comfortable chair and I put some soft happiness frequency music on to just drown out everything else. And then I just close my eyes, I do some deep breathing, and just to center myself. I've learned what's helped me is I think through the chakras, just to clear my chakras, and then, you know, just kind of connecting it in my mind to my personal life, to all those areas, the chakras. But I come out of meditation where I feel happy, and I don't know if anybody's gone through. Well, I know you think about this when you wake up, but I'm conscious now of how I feel most of the day, and even now, even with all this routine I do, I can still wake up and feel negativity, because you worry. It's our natural, I think, instincts to worry, to stress about things, and meditation in the morning just allows you to let go of all that and really set yourself up.
Right.
And then I have a few more steps, but after I meditate, I get my mind more open, and then I read a few inspirational books I have. Like one I love is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Some of them are very old, but they're good. They're just positive and they're good, and they center you. And then after I read just a few pages, or sometimes a chapter if I can't put it down, then I do some free writing in a journal of just anything that resonated with me in the present moment, for myself in my growth, personal growth and leadership growth. And then I have been doing a video. You can see on my
Yes.
my website, Instagram. I've been doing a video in the morning, just a couple minutes of little inspirational tips for leaders.
Definitely, and like I said, follow her on Instagram and Facebook, because those videos there are inspirational to watch. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, let me do that, let me try that.
Yeah.
And I know you do talk about meditation and taking care of it. Like today, you were talking about taking care of yourself.
This week, I'm talking about how leaders really need to take care of themselves.
Yes. So you wrote a book.
Yes, my first book.
Your first book, and it's called Aligning Employees' Strengths, Organizational Vision.
Yes, to organizational vision.
Okay.
So really how, like I mentioned before, everybody has strengths. So how do you take each individual in your organization, build from each one of them to their next goals, and connect that then to your organizational vision, so that you can all move forward together? Because you have to. You know, many times I've heard leaders in the past say things, you know, about, oh, that person, they don't know, they're not doing the right thing, or getting negative. But truly, I believe my people are my people, and I have to nurture them. They're who I have to move forward together.
And this, I mean, we're talking about employees, but really you can use this as a church leader, you can use this as a parent, you know, because your children are not, they don't all have the same attitude, they don't have all the same characters. So you can work it, you know, with anything in your organization. We're just talking about leaders, because that's what your book is about, but you can use these tips on anything, really. And then, so you wrote the book, and you're gonna write another one, right?
I'm actually writing one right now. It's going to be a hardcover book, but it's called My Transformation as a Leader. But just really leading people through. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing when I started, and I had to learn as I went. But just sharing those experiences with people and aligning it to hopefully share tidbits and help people to goal set other leaders for themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm writing that now. Sometimes it goes faster than other.
And I read your book, and I actually wrote down some key points. Not a lot. I wanted to write a lot, but I didn't write a lot of them. But some of them that did stand out for me was we have to start treating each other humanely, before we can work together productively. And that is anything. Like, I think people really need to know that
Yes.
we're humans, and we need to treat each other like humans, right?
You know, all the time. We were just talking about that earlier.
Weren't we?
Yes, you have to, and really seeing things through somebody else's eyes.
Right.
Because my organization, I've done some videos recently, went through a recent change. We lost a key person, and it was hard for some people, but instead of getting negative and getting towards each other, you have to really see the situation through somebody else's eyes, and then connecting with where they're at.
Right. And then another quote that you had said was, transparent communication is very important in building relationships and trust. Can you elaborate on that?
It's key. It's
Because
key.
communication is
Yes,
very
it's
key.
huge. It's huge, and I found that out early on as a leader in my organization. Was they don't trust you right away. You have to build the trust. But a great way to build trust is through that transparent communication, owning everything. Making sure that you are communicating what's going on.
Right.
I had somebody in my Instagram talk to me about a mistake they made in their job, and I said that it's okay. Like, we as leaders, we're demonstrating growth mindset. We are demonstrating, but we have to just own that, communicate that. I make mistakes all the time, and I share that with my employees. Guess what? I made another mistake, but it's okay.
And owning it, right?
And owning it, absolutely. But that transparency is key. We aren't there. I think leaders have to let go of egos.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because we're not there. We're
That's a
there
good tip.
for others. It's really like the servant leadership
Right.
idea.
Thank you. So again, Kim's book is on only, huh?
It's on the website.
It's on the website.
Yes.
You can only get it on the website, the first book.
Yes.
So,
It's the ebook.
can you
It's
say you
the
got
shirt.
her website
The
on there?
website's on the.
So the website is on. If you're interested in Kim's book, please go on her website. Look at her stuff. It's amazing. She's going places. Remember Kim. So I think that was it. Tell us, any tips that you want to share with up and coming leaders, old leaders, new leaders. Any tips that you want to share, on anything?
People who want to start their journey in
Yeah,
something.
starting their journey.
Like, if you could give yourself advice when you were first starting,
Yeah.
what would you tell yourself?
Well, the intrinsic things, I guess, that I operate from that I would say work, and it's very important, and they sound kind of fluffy, but is that positivity, being positive all the time. There isn't room for negativity. There isn't room for your employees to be negative, and you as a leader just being positive, and again, it starts with you, so you have to get yourself in that frame of mind. But because there is a positive angle to every situation, but you have to find it, pull it out,
Right.
and make those connections. And I would say definitely perseverance. Persevering through is huge, because you have to keep at it,
Yeah.
and gratitude is a huge one also. Is being very, personally, but also even as an organization. And I'm always mentioning to my staff, how we need to be so thankful for everything that we have that's going right, because people tend to look at things that are going wrong,
Right.
and that's not the strong story you want to tell. You want to talk about the
I
strengths.
think there was a saying that negativity spreads faster than positivity, and we have to change that.
Yes, that's why it's
Everybody's so quick to spread negative news. Like,
That-
did you hear this? Did you hear that?
Mhm.
But then when it comes to somebody accomplishing something, it's
Absolutely.
like nobody says anything.
Right, we have to celebrate.
Yeah.
How often do you see a good review on Yelp?
Right.
Yes.
You know, like, we're so quick to criticize,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't even like what we're grateful for. Oh,
And many, and I could just add, but many of the, my personal growth has, I've really become tuned into anything that's negative. And right away I stop it, whether it's in my own mind or, I mean, I don't just shut people down when they're coming at me with something negative that they're, because as a leader, you know, people come to you and they say, there's this problem or that problem. But it's always about, how do we fix it?
Right.
How do we fix it? Because it's always getting to the root of what the issue is and fixing it, because we don't have time for the complaining and negativity, and you don't want it to build and grow
Right.
either.
And there's always solutions to problems.
There are, and that's what we have to spend our time doing.
Yeah.
Is finding
But the key thing is like communication.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
how are we gonna fix this? How are we not gonna be part of spreading this negativity?
Mhm.
How are we gonna be part of fixing, you know,
Right.
this and being positive with whatever is going on with anything, right?
yeah, I think a big part of like thinking, like, the word that stuck out to me was transparent. Transparent communication. I think we're all, and like throwing that word vulnerable in there too.
Yes,
Yeah.
vulnerable is important.
Cause
Yes,
and like we gotta, like, we have to admit, like, we're wrong. If we did something like,
absolutely.
that's the only way like we're gonna pull ourselves back up.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about, owning it,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. But vulnerable is a big word, yes.
Yes.
And it's true, and modeling that as a
Mhm.
leader, it's okay to make mistakes.
Right.
Mhm.
I
Absolutely,
think that's what gives us more power too.
yes.
Is that humility, like when we do screw up, or
Mm-hmm.
when, like we own it, you know.
Another thing with vulnerability I think of with my staff, I've done is showing my feelings, you
Mhm.
know,
Right.
my emotions, and that I care, and
Right.
and that's okay. And as a result, a lot of staff do come to me and talk to me about their private lives and their emotions and things, which is awesome because you want that connection.
Right.
Shows we're not humans. I mean, we're humans, but we're not robots.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. Oh, I'm trying to see if there was a comment. Sorry.
Is there any questions for Kim?
Yes, if
Any-
you have a question for Kim on leadership, please write it down, and then we'll go to our second giveaway. Second or third?
Second?
So as you're writing down any questions that you have for Kim, or if you have, should we start your questions?
Sure. If you guys have
Or
any,
any questions for Kevin, don't forget he's an intuitive medium, so if you have a question that you want to ask him also, you can start writing them down. We're gonna do our second giveaway.
yeah. What are we doing?
So our second giveaway is going to be, it was donated by Mike Gillespie, and Baron donated the selenite.
It's a GTFO candle. That stands for Get the Fudge Out. One of my favorite candles by Baron. Really good for getting that energy out. Well, Baron's candles are made organically.
Katerina, hi Katerina. She said when you're vulnerable, it gives others a safe space to be vulnerable as well.
So true.
That is so true.
So glow candle, and then a selenite worry stone. So you can
Yeah, so when you're anxiety, whatever,
you want to get the GTFO?
makes you feel good.
Chella just said any messages
Mom.
from my guides.
Yeah, take Kevin to Leon's.
It's a great. Yeah, that's your answer. No, yes.
It's a joke.
Same
It's a
thing.
joke. Every Moonday joke.
And peanut butter cookies.
Yes.
The message that I get from your guides right now is don't act out of fear. Don't act out of fear, but act out of kind of just like your gut. Like they keep saying, don't quit overanalyzing, quit overthinking. Like put it all in the back burner for now. Put it all in the back burner. Also, I keep hearing like when it comes to a situation, remove yourself from the situation, take a step back and actually think about what's going on.
Oh wow. I didn't know we were that far.
And the good work. Keep doing the good work. And also kind of keep saying your hands going up and down, up and down. So it might be like, ask for Reiki for you. Get some Reiki done for you.
Selena had a question also. Is there a message for me today? Selena.
I ain't gonna lie, you hurt my tummy. I feel like it's very whatever decision you're gonna make, do it. I feel like whatever you feel like you don't want to do, you gotta do it. Like if you feel stuck right now, you gotta do it. Like it's not a time to sit there and wallow or worry, but just go, just go, just go. I feel like it might break your heart.
You?
No, like
Oh.
Selena, yeah, like it's one of those like image that keeps coming to my head is Furbies. And like you know how everyone wanted a Furby. And, like people were killing each other for Furbies. Kind of like that, where it's kind of like, you know, if you want to really go for it and get it, but you know there's still fight it.
I'm feeling high.